On today's episode of John's Chores, we're going to fix the toilet. So today we're going to be fixing the toilet. When I flush it, it does a couple of things. You can hear it here in a second, but it kind of does a weird, you hear that? Let's see if it'll do it. A lot of times it's going, yeah, see how it keeps struggling? I'm not sure if it's the float or the flap, but I think all this is, see how it keeps starting and stopping? All this is old. We've been in this house for 3 years, this month actually, and so we're going to put some new parts in it. So what I did was I went down to Lowe's, the blue bucket, bought a new bucket, and got this repair kit. I got a new hose. We're going to go and replace the hose since we're doing this. So the first thing we need to do is turn the water off. So I'm just going to twist this guy. Alright, that should be off. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is take this lid off. That just pops up like that. Hopefully you can see some water in there. And I've turned the water off. And we're going to go ahead and flush this. What we're trying to do is get all the water out of here so that when we take this float out, it gets most all of this out of there. You can hear it's not refilling. I'm just going to kind of hold this up for a minute. And hopefully that'll get all the water out. The next thing I'm going to do is just put the towel under here. Hope you can see it. And the bucket's too tall to get under there, which is okay. And what I'm going to do is hopefully just get this by hand. Yep. And we're just going to undo this and go ahead and take that off. Let that drip and see how it's dripping, but it's going into the towel, so I'm not overly stressed out about it. And then the other part, we'll go ahead and where did I put that? Oh, get my wrench. It's always best to do this with 2 hands because you don't want to put the stress on the pipe as you're twisting this. There we go. Trying not to bump the camera, but nope. Really just fuzz. It's on me. Alright, this one's a short one. I bought a 20-inch, which is okay. Better not too long than too short. Okay, so that's the first part. And the next part is, let's see if I can get you down there low enough, is we've got to undo this guy. Again, we'll get my wrench. Let's get it open. Oops. Get it open a little more. And open a lot more. And that drops out, just spins off. Comes more water. That's why you have the towel. And let me grab it up here so you can see what I'm doing. Then we use this literally just pours out nice. I don't need another towel. But that comes out, that pulls off. Hopefully you can see all that. And then I'm just going to throw this over here for a second. Grab a trash can. I got a trash can right here. I should use that for water. I'm just going to put that in there. I think. I'll just leave the clip there. Alright, so that's. So now we have a hole. That's where the thing goes out. I'm going to grab another towel or two to clean up and then also to wipe the bottom of this. So I've got those parts out. I put out another towel. It's actually pretty good right now. So the things I need to do next is remove the flapper. That's pretty simple. It really just pulls out. Comes out pretty easy. And then getting the chain off is a little trickier. If I can show you that. A little clip here, just a clip.
And I'm going to save this because hopefully I can match the chain size. One hand's not the easiest. There we go. I'm just going to throw it in here for now. So that's all the parts out of it. What I'm going to do is just wipe this area down. I just want to make sure that this area is free from debris. So when I set the other part in, there's nothing in there. Water's okay, but I don't want any of this charcoal there. Alright, so I'm just going to take this stuff out of here. Sorry if it's a little noisy. There we go. So we've got our flapper and our thingamabobber. So one thing I wanted to check, these are supposed to, the same part number, it's interesting. Yeah, same part number. It's interesting they got two different color tops, but I don't think that matters. Oh, and this one has an adjustable thing here. This one doesn't have that. But what I really am checking for is height. I just want to make sure they're about the same height, and it looks like they are. So as you can see, the bottoms come down and the tops. So this one probably will use a little less water, which isn't a bad thing. And luckily all the water is clean up here, so I'm not overly stressed about like being gross. That's the thing. That's top water up here should be relatively clean. This isn't brown water, dirty water, whatever you want to call it, poopy water. It's just water. So let's do that. And then this is the tube that goes with it. So I'll put that on next. So this clip was actually harder to get on than I thought, but I would definitely recommend putting it on first. So that goes right here. And then probably need to cut that down just a hair. Let's go do that. I don't know how well you can see this. I'll check it out, but basically I'm just cutting this a little shorter because I got a little too much line there. And then I'm just going to pop it onto this thing. So I'd recommend doing all this before you mount. There we go. Mount this guy. That'll be good. So the next thing we need to do is we wiped all that debris away. We just need to put this on. And you can see there's two sides to it. There's kind of a unfinished side and a finished side. The finished side you want towards the ground, and the unfinished side towards the toilet. Really just need to spin this until it's fairly tight. You want to support it on the top side there. And really hand tight should be all you need. Since we're down here, I'm going to go ahead and connect up the hose. So the first part I'm going to do is up here, and this is pretty simple. And I bought a little too long of a hose, but that's okay. Better to have too much hose than not enough. Again, when you're tightening this, you want to make sure you're supporting everything. Top part. Good. And then we'll just twist this around to kind of give it a okay look. Let me see if you can see what I'm seeing here. I'm just going to tighten this by hand until it can't go any tighter, and then I'll get the pliers out and finish it. But and again, something you want to use two hands for. You want to make sure you're holding this, because what you don't want is put pressure on this pipe. You could snap the pipe, and then you got bigger problems than a running toilet. So it's starting to get a little tight. Okay, I think that's tight enough. Get that back. And then I'll take this off once I feel like everything's good. Alright, the last thing we got to do is put this flap in. This one right here. So the chain side goes on top. And what we're going to do is pop it in here. It's got these little hooks. Let me see if I can show you here. essentially you just hook them in. Hoping this flapper works, we'll see. And I didn't measure the chain. Let's see, so got the flappers in and then didn't measure the chain. So let me grab the other one and make sure we're about the right length. All right, so what I did was I took about 4 links. I just moved this hook down. So this hook, I just moved it down. It was on this top link. And now I'm just gonna button it up on this link here, or button it up on the handle, and hopefully that'll be it. Let me do that. I can't do that with one hand. All right, if I did all this right, hopefully nothing leaks. And we're gonna go ahead and turn on the water. This is the time to notice leak. All right, water's all the way on. I'll fill it up. So we gotta make sure, one, it turns off when we expect it to. You can see the water going down that little hole there, so that's important, because that's actually what's filling up the bowl down there. And then, let's see if the water comes off in a second. And hopefully the chain's always the trickiest part. So if you have the chain in the right spot, then that's it. Alright, so. That looks pretty good. You also want to make sure the chain's not so long that it's going to get caught in the red stopper there. If it gets hung underneath, it'll create a leak. So I think that's actually about what we want. And we got nothing leaking down here, so that's a good sign. So the only other thing I need to do is put the lid back on this and cut that off, and then that's the end of the job. Now you know how to fix a toilet, at least a float and a flap. One other thing I wanted to recommend doing before you ever go to the hardware store is to take a picture of what you're going to need to replace. So I always take a couple of pictures. So in this case, I have the flap and the part, and the float and the flap, both. So I know exactly what I need. Anyways, go get a chore done. Thanks for watching. Push the buttons you're supposed to push. Bye.